Welcome to Boss Up Goddess. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I go live every night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And I usually interview women who teach us their wisdom to live bigger, better, and bolder. Other nights, I'm solo, and that's tonight. It's Christmas Eve. So if you celebrate this holiday, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a lovely, safe, fun time with lots of yummy food and happy people all around you. I am alone and I am really savoring time. And that's what my message to you is all about. Obviously, there's a pandemic, and a lot of people are not having our normal holiday festivities, which include parties and gatherings. And I'm usually at this beautiful gala on Christmas Eve every year with friends and family. Not tonight, but please let me share something that's so powerful because of the pandemic, because of COVID-19, the coronavirus, we have a lot more time alone or shifts in our normal ways of doing things. So for me, this alone time has been tremendously productive and focused. And I want to encourage you that if you have any downtime, or please make some space during the holiday lull in the world. School is out, jobs might have a break. Take some time, especially since you're probably not doing as many festivities, shopping, and such as usual. This is my message. Reflect and write. Reflect and write. Now, people usually look back on the past year and then they especially write out a New Year's resolution, but I want you to take it one step farther than that. I want you to reflect back on 2020 and then write out what you want for 2021. And I don't mean the same old, lose 10 pounds, get fit, the generic stuff that maybe you've been trying to do for every year and don't succeed at doing. This is a time to get real. This is a time to really go within and figure things out and do that. Excavate yourself with the tool of writing. I began this process, which I'd been looking forward to for months, because I knew I was going to take time at the end of this year to look back and then figure out how do I want to proceed into 2021. And using the pandemic solitude, silence, stillness, exploration of self to map out a new year, a new me. And my book, Bus Up Goddess, Start Living Your Effing Potential, it's all about that. It's about speaking up, speaking out, being my biggest, boldest, baddest, badass self, and waking up to my power, even though I was already in my power, but I on a whole nother level of power. So my message is that it's time to write out how you want to activate, access, explode that power of you in the new year. But an excellent way to do that is to use this time to get still, silent, in solitude, and explore yourself. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I began the process today and it was awesome. It was like time stood still. I had complete focus, and I want you to please be able to do that. So first, you'll need to get a notebook or a laptop, however you like to write, and allocate 30 minutes for starters. I didn't do it all at once. I want to do it sort of let it percolate over the week or so, and then just keep adding more information. So get your notebook or your laptop, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, turn off your phone, turn off your devices, and just commit to this 30 minutes of self-exploration and reflection on 2020. Now, there's so many jokes about how this has been a terrible year and it's been extremely tragic for the more than 300,000 deaths, and multiply that exponentially by the friends, family, colleagues, community members, neighbors who are all missing the people who died. My heart, my love, my prayers go out to all of you. And for anybody who's suffering and sick right now, I'm praying for you to have miraculous recovery and improved strength and come out of it with your health better than ever. I want to thank all the healthcare workers who are putting their lives on the line every single day to help out in this pandemic. At the same time, use this year, this time to reflect. It's forced us to question so many systems: education, politics, the economy, racial disparities, treatment of women, so many things. Take time to process that by yourself and go within and ask your soul, your heart, what do you want? What role can you or do you want to play in helping to create a better world, starting by crafting a life that is your absolute greatest potential, influence, empowerment, fulfillment? So, the first thing again is to sit quietly with your journal and just ask yourself these questions. But first, reflect on the year. The way I do it, and it's really a wonderful exercise, please, on the top of the page, write January 2020. Then below that, a few lines down, write February, and write out each month, and then write out each month's most impactful experiences, good or bad, but things that stand out as milestones in 2020 for you. So, for example, here in Michigan, the governor issued a stay at home order at the end of March. And so that obviously was a pivotal point where everything went onto Zoom and there was no more socializing, etc. Gyms were closed, restaurants. So that was a pivotal time, major shift. We didn't know it was going to go this long, but here we are. So for you, what were the major things that occurred in 2020, month by month? And then also, right next to that, how were you feeling? Were you feeling stressed? Were you feeling hopeful? Did you get married? I mean, this is not all negative. It can be really positive as well. Did you decide that to let the pandemic accelerate your romance? A lot of people got married. A lot of people filed for divorce. So what giant changes did you possibly implement in your life? And then once you've written out the months, these specific occurrences, and then your feelings, go to each scene and write out, like, remember the dialogue, remember your feelings, remember any resolutions you might have made to yourself, and just process that. Now, here's the huge, huge thing. Instead of feeling mad or angry or regretful, think about that moment, especially if it was something difficult, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive all people involved, and then ask for a healing. Just make an intention on yourself that I want to heal this wound, and then release it. Now, whatever your spiritual or religious beliefs are, you might want to pray on that or ask for divine intervention to help you heal and release and forgive all parties involved in whatever the situation was. That could be so many different things. So you decide what you need to do that with, but this procedure enables you to identify those wounds that might still be open, and then forgive yourself and everyone involved, release, and feel the healing of it. What happens is you lighten your emotional load and you step into 2021 lighter, happier, and healthier in mind, body, spirit. Now, if you meditate, you can do this in meditation. I did it last week and I literally I ticked down a list of things, and I did this healing meditation where each situation was just filled with light and love. and I could see the light filling each situation almost like it was Mm, not dissolving it, but, like, filling it with so much light, it just transmuted into another form, and then it just dissolved, just it was no longer heavy on my heart. It just transmuted into the light, and I was able to release it, and with that, I could feel this tremendous lightness and relief. And when every time you release one of these painful things that are we're holding on to in our mind or our heart or ourself, we release it and it creates a spaciousness within us. It's bizarre. I write about the spaciousness in my book. God's Answer is No: Lessons from a Spiritual Life. I didn't know that would happen, but the more meditations I did and healings I did, it creates this openness because you're literally it's like cleaning out a closet. All the junk is gone, so now you open it up and there's all this space. Well, the same is true for your mind, for your psyche, for your heart, for your soul. You clear away all that clutter, pain, junk, stuff you don't need anymore that's just filling up the closet or weighing you down. You can call it baggage if you want. And so one day I just had this weird feeling like lightness. And I'm like, wow. And the word spaciousness came to mind. And I had cleared out so much leftover, bad memories or pain or whatever it was. And I just had this open sensation. It was bizarre. But when you do these exercises, when you reflect, you write, you release, heal, forgive, all of this together, you are going to experience this spaciousness. And with that lightness, you can step into the new year, into the new you, feeling better than ever. And when you're lighter, you travel faster and farther. So start by writing. Start by writing out each month, each situation that you remember as sort of a milestone flashpoint moment in that month. Write out your emotions. And then if you feel so if you feel so inspired, write out the whole scene of the story, how you were feeling, and then heal it, release it, forgive, and move on to the next one. So once you've reviewed this year and do it in a spirit of gentleness toward yourself, and obviously, if you've lost a loved one or had some tremendous tragedy or trauma occur, it takes time and a lot of effort to heal. It just does. But this can be a starting point to process the feelings. The tool of writing is so transformative and so powerful. Writing it out releases all that energy, all that emotion from the body. You're literally letting it pour out onto the paper. And there's something about writing with your hand that processes the energy and the messaging from your mind in a way that's extremely therapeutic. So just let it flow out. It is a wonderful feeling. It's not easy, but the result is very effective and powerful. So then once you've done that for the entire 2020 and just be really, really real with yourself, you don't have to let anybody see this. It's all yours. That's why you're doing it in solitude. It doesn't matter what you write about anybody. It's all yours and keep it private because this is your place to vent, to release. Because the goal is to create solutions to whatever the problem is for the coming year. So then once you've processed 2020 in writing, releasing, reflecting, forgiving, healing, then write out what is missing. Even if your life is really good, do you have that void within? Do you feel that something is missing and you just don't know what? Or maybe you do know what it is. Spend some time writing and reflecting on what is missing. And then write out what it will feel like to have that. Write out what it will feel like to have that and really savor those emotions. And if it's something you've never experienced before, flex your imagination. If it's finding your soulmate and getting married and being really happy with that person, imagine what that would feel like. A no drama zone, trust, truth, passion, compatibility, decision making together, living, creating a life that's compatible with everything that you desire and deserve. If it's having that dream job or starting your company, write out what that would feel like to either go to that job daily or to have your own company and know, I created this, this is mine. Write out those feelings and then use that as your map. But first, write out the year. Just as we did for each month of 2020, write out each month of 2021 and write, what do you want? Of course, we all want the pandemic to be over, but what do you want that you can control? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to leave one job and go to another one? Do you want to move to another state? What do you want? Now, a lot of the things that we want are not physical things, they're not material. They're, I want to speak up. I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel confident. I want to feel XYZ. Those are not things you can buy or get from someone else. They're all things you have to do yourself. So write out what you want. And then again, with these emotions, these characteristics, write out what that would feel like to speak up without fear and express yourself, even to people you know it's going to make them mad, because in the past they were used to you never speaking up. So write that out, sort of practice what that looks like. Then for each month of the year, 2021, write out what you want or the goal you hope to achieve by that time. So, for example, my book is coming out in April. So I have a whole list of things I need to be doing in advance of that. And then my birthday is in July. So I always like to plan something special for my birthday. So I put that and I write out what do I want on my birthday. Now, let me just share how powerful this exercise is, because several years ago, I wrote that in my journal. I wrote, I want to be celebrating my birthday on a yacht with a wonderful person eating an amazing meal. Well, I kind of forgot about it and put it aside. But then circumstances occurred that a very special person invited me onto a yacht in a beautiful city. And we had a delicious meal with the best flourless chocolate cake I've ever had in my life for dessert, with a candle in it, of course. And it was even better because they had fireworks afterwards. It was amazing. And then I remembered, wow, I wrote this. I wrote that this is what I wanted to be doing on my birthday. And guess what? It happened even bigger and better than I ever anticipated. So that is the power of journaling and writing out your plan for the year. It's scripting your life. Now, of course, things in life do happen and they don't always turn out exactly the way we want. But guess what? Sometimes they're even better. So write out all the things that you want for the next year. And then you obviously have to create a strategy for those things. Like, for example, if you want to go back and get your MBA, you have to apply to schools. You have to do the physical tasks required to make that happen. If you want to meet someone, you need to ask around for, your friends to refer you to someone, or join a dating app, or whatever you need to do to meet people. If you want to write a book, you have to sit down and do the work. So you have to schedule the time to write the book. So whatever it is, you have to take action and do the work to make it happen. So then what you do is once you write out what you want, then you make it legible. And if you typed it, you can print it out. And then you read it to yourself morning and night. Now, this is in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Read it to yourself in the morning. Out loud is best because you're literally reprogramming your brain. It's called the power of auto-suggestion. And I've used this technique to lose 100 pounds, to be on Oprah, to be on Montel, to write all the books I've written. I use this technique to change my mind, to be more peaceful, to stay fit, to stay purposeful. And so repeating it and hearing your own voice say the words that you wrote, it programs you to manifest, to take the action, to stay committed, to find the discipline, to continue and make it happen. And then read it to yourself at night as well. A lot of times when you're sleepy and you read it, it really, really sinks in. And you can take it a step further by recording it on the recording app on your phone or a micro cassette recorder and just listen to it whenever you can. And again, that's reprogramming yourself to help you just kick into autopilot and make it happen. I've shared on some other shows how I've done that with my food and my relationship with my spiritual practice each day. It's just a non-negotiable. It's just part of what I do every day. It's not a question. So you want these changes that you implement into your life and the work required to achieve these goals to just be autopilot. It's just what you do. And so the way you manifest your heart's greatest desires in 2021 using the slowdown of COVID-19, of not going to so many parties and not having so many gatherings during this holiday season. Use this year-end time to reflect on 2020. Use the tool of writing in silence, solitude to explore self. Forgive yourself and all those involved. Release, heal, write about it. Then write about what you want for each month of 2021. Write about it in detail. Read it to yourself or record it and listen morning, evening, and more if possible. And know that this process enables you to release and heal what you don't need anymore, and then embark on this new journey with self and life to get, create, manifest everything that you desire and deserve. And the tool of writing, the act of reflection, are the ways that you can achieve that. I got to go now because I have some writing and reflecting to do. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I'm really grateful that you joined me tonight for Boss Up Goddess. I go solo and I interview wise women who share their trailblazing traits that enable us all to live bigger, better, and bolder. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell so you'll know every time I go live or upload a new video. So again, it's Christmas Eve. The holidays during the pandemic are an excellent time if you have any extra downtime to write and reflect so you can create your best year ever. And when the pandemic is over and we are back at parties and big family gatherings and out in the world, you can step out with tremendous new confidence, achievement, accomplishments, vision, and a whole new you because you took the time now during the quiet, the slowness, the solitude to write out a new plan and take action on that vision to make it real. Hope this has helped you. Remember, boss up, goddess. You have the power. I'll see you next time.